My mother refused to help while my wife was screaming in labor after years of using me like her ATM. So I made one move that left them speechless. The cost of being a dutiful son. Growing up, I always believed that loyalty to your family was sacred. My father abandoned us when I was 8 years old, leaving my mother to raise me and my younger brother Ryan alone. From that moment on, she was my world, a single mother who worked long hours, skipped meals, and always put us first. At least, that's what I believed. I swore to myself that one day, I'd pay her back for every sacrifice. I'd be the son who made everything right. And in a way, I did. It started small, covering her phone bill when I got my first job at 18. Then it was groceries, utility payments, emergency repairs. By the time I was in my late 20s, I was sending her nearly 30% of my income every month. Not because she asked, but because she expected it. And I never questioned her. Mom called me when her car broke down. I paid for repairs. When Ryan got arrested for DUI, she didn't call a lawyer, she called me. I paid. When she got into credit card debt from shopping sprees, I paid. You're the man of the house now, she always said. It's your duty. And I believed it. I believed that being a good son meant being available financially, emotionally, physically. I believed that love was proven through sacrifice. Then I met Grace. Grace was unlike anyone I'd ever known, strong, kind, independent, and honest to a fault. We met at a charity fundraiser I had been guilt-tripped into attending by a coworker, and I nearly didn't go. But she made the whole night worth it. She saw through me instantly. "You give too much of yourself," she said one night over wine. I laughed, not realizing how right she was. When we moved in together, she saw the full picture: late-night money transfers to my mom, rushed visits to fix her broken faucet, and constant texts asking for help. Grace never judged me, but she asked the hard questions. "Does she ever say thank you?" I shrugged. "She's just tired. Life's been hard." "Noah," she said gently, "so has yours. But you don't demand everything from everyone else." I didn't respond. Because deep down, I knew she was right. The baby, the fight, and the call that changed everything. Grace and I got married 2 years later in a small ceremony. My mother made a scene about not being the center of attention, but we brushed it off. It was our day, and Grace looked radiant. A year after that, we found out we were having a baby. Everything changed. Suddenly, the stakes were higher. We had to think about college savings, health insurance, baby furniture. And still, my mother kept asking for money. One month, I told her I couldn't send the usual $1,000 because we had hospital bills. Her response? "Well, I guess I'll go without Heath this winter." Thanks for nothing. I still sent $500. Grace was furious. Not at me, but for me. "She's emotionally blackmailing you, Noah." "She's my mom," I repeated, like a mantra. Grace was 8 months pregnant when we had our first serious fight about it. She was worried, tired, anxious about labor. And she needed me to draw the line. I promised I would. The night everything fell apart, Grace went into labor unexpectedly at 2 a.m. Her screams were raw, panicked. I called 911, but the ambulance said it would take at least 20 minutes. We didn't have time. So I did what I thought was logical, I called my mom. She lived just 5 blocks away. "Mom, Grace is in labor," I said. "We need help getting to the hospital now." There was a long pause. Then her voice, cold and sharp, "So now you call me? After all the times you put that woman ahead of me? What? You made your choice. Let her scream." Maybe now you'll learn who really matters." And she hung up. I stared at the phone in disbelief. Then I carried Grace to the car myself. She passed out twice from the pain before we reached the ER. The nurses rushed her in while I parked. I remember sitting in the hospital bathroom later that night, gripping the edge of the sink, trembling with rage. My own mother had refused to help my wife in labor because I hadn't sent her money the week before. A baby is born, a bond is broken. Lily was born the next morning. She was perfect, tiny, loud, and very much alive. Grace was exhausted but safe. I cried harder than I ever had in my life. And I made a decision. My mother would never meet my daughter. For 3 days, I didn't answer her calls. On the 4th day, she sent a text. "So, is it a boy or girl?" No apology. No remorse. Just casual entitlement. I didn't reply. Instead, I focused on Grace. On Lily. On our new life. We adjusted slowly. Sleepless nights, messy bottles, and terrifying diaper explosions. But we were together, and we were happier than I'd ever been. Then she showed up. 2 weeks after Lily was born, my mother knocked on our door. No warning. Just knocked like everything was fine. I opened it, stunned. "Well," she said, trying to peer past me, "aren't you going to let me meet my granddaughter?" I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. "No," I said. Her eyes narrowed. "Excuse me?" "You're not welcome here," I said. "You left Grace to suffer. You didn't even ask if she survived." "I raised you," she snapped. "You owe me." "No," I interrupted. "I owe my wife. I owe my daughter. And I owe myself the peace you've taken from me for years." She tried to argue, but I turned away. She stood outside for 10 minutes. I never opened the door again. That night, I blocked her number. The fallout and freedom. At first, I expected guilt to consume me. But it didn't. I slept better. Breathed easier. Felt lighter. The silence from her side was deafening, but also liberating. Ryan called once, furious. "You're abandoning Mom." "No," I said calmly. "She abandoned me when I needed her most." He hung up. I haven't heard from him since. 3 months later, Grace got a job offer in Oregon, great pay, great schools, a fresh start. I said yes before she finished explaining the position. We sold our place. Moved without telling anyone. In our new home, with mountains outside the window and fresh air in our lungs, we built something real. Something safe. Something ours. No surprise visits. No late-night guilt calls. No emotional landmines. Just family. The move that left them speechless. On my birthday, Grace gave me a small box. Inside was a silver keychain. On one side was the date Lily was born. On the other, engraved in her handwriting, "The day you chose us." I broke down in tears. Not because I lost a mother, but because I finally gained freedom. The freedom to protect my family. The freedom to love without strings attached. The freedom to say, "Enough."